need a pickup for? Why you need to be so high off the ground?
The whole road to determine the needs of the people. Today we're here, we're shooting another video, another car review.
Yeah.
This time we have a truck.
Yeah.
Toyota Hilux.
2018.
2018 model.
Yeah, got about 174 and change horsepower.
My dream vehicle. Well, maybe the 2022 or the 2023, whichever one.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Toyota fan, especially on the Hilux side. So
vibes.
This should be an interesting one today.
Okay, so for me, this is brand new. As in, I've never driven a Toyota Hilux before.
Facts.
Outside of my diesel pickup, there aren't many other diesel pickups I've driven. So we give this a drive so it feels, take it for a little spin, and just talk our way through this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out again once more to Raul, who's lent us his pristine family vehicle.
Let me tell you, this man in a pristine crashing my vehicle by the garage door. But currently we're in the village of Param.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a tour. Where are we going this time?
So I'm gonna take a quick spin around Param, go by Crabs Marina, not go too far for Defense Force, people get suspicious. But see how this pickup feels and start a discussion as to whether or not people really need pickup in their life. Why do you need a pickup for? Why you need to be so high off the ground? Look,
in Antigua potentially might need a pickup. I mean, we're putting in new infrastructure now, so
yeah,
it might be as important, but before it was, because you know how I wouldn't stay in all that way already. So far so good. Suspension is nice.
Yeah, nice and stiff. Kind of what you expect on a pickup.
That's true.
Can't say much yet. I mean, we haven't driven much distance. I can feel those really big dirt tires give me some road noise.
You can feel the power as well too.
I mean, not the power yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not slow.
It's a Toyota, my brother.
It's not slow. Pedal feels are nice. I mean, it feels more car-ish than it does a rugged truck. But then again, I'm coming from Americans' idea of what a truck is.
Yes, that's true.
Right, so...
And we still have more comparisons to do. We're still trying to get to test drive a Raptor.
Yeah, we still have a Raptor in the works.
Right.
Frontier
in the works. We still have a Mazda in the works.
Yeah.
It's a BT-150.
Yeah.
So we still have a BT-150 in the works as well.
And then maybe today, we may just have a little snapshot as to how the America does stuff when it's built Ford tough.
So-called Ford tough.
Yeah. Alright. So, I mean, I'll be honest, the steering wheel feels... I've mixed emotions on the wheel. It's not light. It's slightly weighty. But I'll say it feels better than the Frontier in my opinion. I find the Frontier wheels feel way more weightier than they need to. Like you're driving something almost that don't have power steering. But this don't feel that way. Once I get moving, this feels nice. I believe it was really those big tires and the vehicle not moving why it felt so heavy, but it doesn't feel as heavy now. Truth be told, it don't feel as heavy. Steering input is nice, precise.
Coming from somebody that drive a four-door mini car, this is quite refreshing. I'm a tall dude, so when I'm in these small cars, it feels like I'm way closer to the ground than I need to be. That I'm accustomed to just walking around. Okay, so I know you guys see this special thing called Antigua and Barbuda, the special economic zone. Let's just ignore that, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing.
What we will highlight is what's coming up on the left. And I mean, if we get more traction on the videos, if we really get a lot of things going,
correct.
I believe we'll have an opportunity to do some videos at the rally track.
Yeah, they had a couple rally places, I think a week or two ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't visit. I was kind of busy.
Yeah, this is nice though. I mean, outside of maybe the little bit of road noise from the tires, I could get accustomed to this.
No, this is more than nice, lads. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man.
It's cool.
Give it the benefit of the doubt, man.
It's cool.
Okay.
I mean, is not slow, it's not a slouch.
Yeah, that's true. It's quick off the release.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it is.
I mean, for the amount of pedal press I gave it, I think it's decent.
Yeah, that's true.
It rides like a truck though, as in I can feel the leaf springs in the back skipping over those bumps. Really sturdy. It's a lot stiffer than I thought it would be, honestly, but I haven't driven a lot of smaller pickup trucks, you know.
Emphasis on the smaller compared to
Yeah,
the Fieldboard, the super that you have.
I mean, the suspension is firm, like it needs weight behind of it. Like it needs something to hold it down, that kind of way.
Okay.
Which is really how they make pickup trucks, to carry load. But again, the question, what load are you carrying?
But for those who have boats, maybe cars like Killer, that have a drag car, I mean, I think it would be necessary.
You think it's necessary?
And it's a how can I put it? It's a statement piece.
Oh.
In our country. Let's put it
So that's what it is.
in Antigua, it's
All right.
it's
So we get into some bumpy stuff here.
it's a good
It's not bad. It's
representation of where you are economically.
oh, the status symbol is what it is.
Okay, so now we're going over a bumpy road here.
Yeah.
Just for you to get an idea of how it feels riding on a bumpy road.
I mean,
And I can tell you there's a huge difference. I'm not a car person, so maybe I'll get into detail. But I can tell there's a huge difference compared to the cars that I've driven.
Okay, so you tell me, from a car guy, do you think it's
No, from a transportation utility standpoint. Because I always call myself a car guy, but I prefer this. Listen,
You prefer this ride?
Yes, because I don't have to slow down as much to go over these bumps. We came through here in less than 10 seconds.
True.
In my car, it would take at least maybe half a minute.
Okay.
I have to like
Take your time.
slow, all right.
Make sure you're not scratching the bottom.
Exactly.
Okay, okay, okay.
With
So,
this is just like.
so then, all you really need is an SUV. You don't need a pickup then, because it does need something with little clearance. That can take the bumps.
Why are you trying to downplay the pick? Suppose now you have to move some barrel from port now.
What? How much time do you have to move barrel
Don't worry
from
about
port?
that. If you have people are foreign, then you can need to move barrel as frequent as possible.
I mean, unless you get one of them fellas out on the right hand side. I'm not sure if the camera's picking up the marine and all the boats, but I mean, unless you're pulling something really heavy, and even with these, I'm not sure what's the maximum towing capacity. It's not all that high. You can easily pull a small boat. I've seen some guys pull some sizable boats with these, albeit I can tell the leaf springs are crying stop, help,
Calm down.
yeah. They've done it nonetheless. The engines, as far as I know, for these are pretty sound, they're stable, don't have much issues. Most I've heard people say is that the ride has been stiff, and so they've been modifying suspensions to make that a little more compliant. But even for me, it's not bad. I'm just saying, you really need it.
And then again, we have a leather interior as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's leather interior, fully powered seats, you got airbags, of course lots of headroom and all that stuff because it's a pickup truck.
The interior is more modern as well too.
Yeah.
Nice touchscreen. It lights up.
I'll be honest though. I'll be honest. I can
Pinch your conscience.
I can almost guarantee that this is not a Toyota made infotainment. This is probably no. Toyota probably got somebody to make that infotainment for them.
Okay, fair enough.
Like maybe Boss or Kendall Audio or one of them.
Outsourced.
Yeah, they probably outsource that.
Which is a lot of companies are doing now.
Yeah. But I mean, otherwise, it's fine.
Yeah, this is for me. I don't know, but I'm let's post the disclaimer. I'm super biased.
Yeah, to really want one of these, but
yes. It's gonna be hard to change my mind. I've heard a lot of people compare them to
it's good.
the BT-150 and also the Raptor.
Yeah, and you have some stuff going on the dash here too. So you have all this nice fancy touch stuff you have in your steering wheel, so you can configure this very small display, but it looks more utilitarian, just stuff you need, nothing high-tech and futuristic. So
and
you can
again, it's a car, so
yeah,
it's not like a spaceship where we have to
Yeah, so I mean,
tell me the weather and all that before we take off.
You got your music, which is nice. You can do on your wheel. You got some Bluetooth, so you can answer your calls.
Right, correct.
So I mean, it's decent. It's decent.
I know. When we started this episode, you had a mission in mind.
I still have the mission in mind.
But this is the question: has it changed?
Has it changed my mind?
I don't think it can change your mind because, I mean, you're a car enthusiast, so you already understand the needs and wants of somebody that just needs to do things, especially in our terrain and Ontario. But as it pertains to the car itself or the truck itself, so do you think if you can afford to, and it's somebody that wants to buy something like this, whether or not it's for whatever reason that you think, or they choose to, or if it's just a statement piece, do you think it's still an okay investment?
I'll be honest. I've told many persons that when I bought my pickup truck, it was one of the best investments I could have made at the time. But that's also because I bought my pickup truck for a specific reason.
For a business standpoint.
For a business standpoint.
Correct.
And as well, I've leveraged that to do other side hustles because of the ability of the truck.
Correct.
Right? So I've pulled a few boats. I've moved homes for people.
You can carry blocks.
And that too. So, during the time I've had my truck, I've constructed my home. And I've used the truck to put, not a few stuff. I've put pallets of cement bags in the truck, pallets of tiles, loaded it up, and with no problem. It just went along its merry way. And so from that point of view, I've gotten my bang for the buck out of the truck.
Fair.
Yeah, but I mean, let's stick to the point. Those persons who have pickup trucks, right? And they never see a bumpy road, right? They don't carry anything, so there's nothing heavy going in the back. I mean, it's still nice, even if you're not doing a whole lot of work, something to have, given that we live on the island and you have lots of beaches. And
some of our beaches are on roads that are off like
really bad terrain, so loose dirt,
like off-roading. And then we also have a huge trucking society here as well, where these guys on Sundays they go off-roading, go in muddy water.
No,
some difficult
even
areas.
that, right? No, at that point, you're buying a pickup truck as a really expensive toy.
Okay.
I mean, you don't need.
Who to determine the needs of the people?
Fair enough.
You might not see the need of it.
I cannot judge.
Again, and that's why I cannot judge. That's why I go back to saying,
I cannot judge.
If we're looking at the economic side of things, if you're not using this for some, as you said, to do a side hustle, to pull a boat, to maybe take one or two materials for somebody that's building or anything like that, then it would be an expensive purchase. It would be outside of your range.
Yeah, and then you'd have features that you don't ever use.
So it's be like just buying like an expensive SUV then, pretty much.
Yeah.
Alright. But if it's a case where you're thinking about, I could potentially use this still for a side hustle and maybe gain some extra funds here and there by putting all this ad. Or even if you have the cash that you can, or the lifestyle or the economic status where you can actually purchase something like this and make it be an expensive toy, do you consider, okay, yeah, it would be an art?
It's an art, right? I mean, my question to everyone who has a pickup truck is, why did you really buy it?
True.
And do you really need it now that you have it?
True.
Right? So are you someone who, from time to time needs to throw something in the bed that you couldn't otherwise load up in the back of an SUV?
True.
I mean, for argument's sake, if all you're putting behind there is suitcases, right? Then you might as well have an SUV, because at least your suitcase will be covered, right? And I mean, you can buy covers for these things and so on, and it'll work almost like a trunk.
True.
But at the same time, why go through all that hassle? Why not just get an SUV?
Understood. Again, to each his own, right?
I agree. hearing those loud off-road tires on the outside. I couldn't imagine
music to my ears.
what Raptors and so sound like, and those Jeeps going down.
Music to my ears. Listen, as I said to you before, I wake up every morning to go to work.
Yeah.
I have to jump in my little car, drive to work. In order to be like 100% inspired, I have to, like, you know, turn on my music, set the mood. If I owned one of these, I'd be inspired to go to work every day. The fact that I have to jump into this and drive this, yo, just to wake up in the morning, like, I'm driving a Hilux truck to work. So, to each his own is a statement piece, right? Depending on where your status is and depending on what you want to do. What I've realized, though, a lot of persons that are in construction have these pickup trucks.
And that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
I mean, if you're carrying stuff around, you're moving people, you're moving lumber, you're moving materials, of course, get a pickup truck. It's worth every dollar that you're gonna pay for it. But if you're not, and it's just a status symbol, then that's
still buy it because it's a status symbol.
But that's all
if
it is.
If you can afford it.
I mean, anything can be a status symbol depending on who you are and what you think is your status symbol.
That is true.
You know, for some people it's a particular car.
That is true.
Right? That's a status symbol. But again, for me, a pickup truck is something that should be used for what it's bought for. I think everything, maybe that's my problem. I'm too logical, and I think if you're purchasing something, you should get all the features out of it.
Okay, fair.
You know, so
I mean, we come from a technical background, so we look at the dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Just today we were discussing, you know, cost per gallon in terms of how we move around.
Exactly.
How economical it is to have a certain set of vehicles, if you have a certain family, if you have a lot of traveling to do. So these are discussions that we have on a daily basis. But again, you still can't run away from that status symbol, bro.
I mean, status symbol or not.
You know the country that we live in, right?
Yeah, and I guess everybody want to flex on something. You know, for some people it's a shoe, it's a chain.
That's true.
But
for me, I'm gonna be honest. For me, it's more so. It's not so more so of a status symbol. For me, it's one, the space, the room.
Okay.
2, the ruggedness. 3, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I drive like a madman.
Okay. And that's a valid point, because it has always been said that the Toyota pickups are the hardest to destroy. So I mean,
see, like, the slowing down for bumps and I ain't got no time for the I ain't got no time, bro. So driving a car now, that 15, 30 seconds that I have to
you just go through.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I'm tall as well too, so I feel like when I come, imagine you see a tall man coming out of a Fitz, bro.
It happens all the time.
That's true. It's happening right now. You understand? It just looks weird. It just looks off. So the goal is to not have something that only represents who I am, but, you know, at least with my height, it merges, you know, it look completely off. Again, I do agree with what you're saying, because don't think that I'm trying to change your perspective. I do agree with, you know, do you actually need one? Do we actually need one? That's the point that we're trying to prove in this episode. And it's clear, the conclusion is clear that realistically you don't need the truck in Antigua, to be honest. But
I think what we really need are really just vehicles that have good ground clearance for the roads.
Yeah.
And you're pretty much good.
Correct. I mean, but at the end of the day, from a standpoint of, I don't think people just, not much people buy cars because of what they can afford, so to speak. Well, let me rephrase that. So most people buy cars for what they can afford, right?
Right.
For now. But if they had the option to actually buy something that they can, you know, that would represent them, more than likely they would go for maybe an SUV. Those who like pickup trucks, they would go for pickup trucks. Yeah. Those who like Lamborghini, they go for Lamborghini. No, in Antigua, if you open a Lamborghini store in this Caribbean, in Antigua, trust me, you might get at least one per year. I can guarantee you that. All
we really need are the roads, and I know persons would buy
with ease,
because we do have persons who have enough money in Antigua to purchase Lamborghinis and these sort of things.
We have Porsches and
I mean,
all these other fancy cars here. So.
Even that is another thing. There's so many Porsche Macans on the road right now.
In Antigua. That's
that too is a matter of status symbol, because for argument's sake, you could get the same utility out of a Kia Sportage.
Sure.
Yeah, albeit, you know, the Porsches are good, and their party trick is that they're really quick.
That's true.
But with a speed limit of 40 miles per hour on an island of 108 square miles, you can't even do 0 to 60 because you're already breaking the law.
I'm saying, you know? And also you take into consideration the Benzes that exist as well too.
Yeah, we have a lot of Mercedes-Benz, GLCs and GLEs.
The BMWs as well too.
Yeah, X1 through
X6,
5,
yeah.
X6,
yeah.
And there are at least 2 or 3 X7s as well.
Correct.
Around the road.
So we do have quite a few.
Yeah.
We do have quite a few status pieces in Antigua on the extremely high end side.
We do.
But as it pertains to upper middle class, these like the pickup trucks tend to be
The status symbols.
for the upper middle. Again, shout out to Rod. Not trying to put your business out there, but
Yeah.
your business is out there when you're driving the blue Hilux.
And I mean,
And
it's
he has a growing family as well too. So
yeah.
it's necessary to make sure that you move up while your family is growing as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you're someone who does a lot of things for yourself, I mean, you go to the lumberyard, you pick up your stuff yourself.
Correct.
You're moving stuff, and you know you got a lot of DIY going on. A pickup is a good thing to have.
Nice.
You know, but for those persons,
Like for me, myself, so you already know at my house everything that happens at home, mellow the done, hand to die.
oh, there you go.
If it's something major, then I will call in the expert. But
Right.
for now, the expert YouTube.
There
And
you
then
go.
when we're done YouTube and we realize, okay, I'm stuck, then I might have to dig in the pocket to call in somebody else, the real professionals. But
Yeah.
for now, it's just, and a lot of times I have to fit the materials and so on that I need into a smart vehicle.
Well, see, at that point, you probably do need a pickup truck.
Very much so.
Yeah, you got
Anybody watching?
a lot of stuff
want a
moving
sponsor,
around.
Make me a brand ambassador for Hilux, Hardy Motors.
Yeah, I'm ready for drive your vehicle around and make more videos for at least 6 months.
6 for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
You can guarantee you get the world out of me for the 5 years. But it's been an interesting ride.
Yeah.
What's your conclusion as?
My conclusion is that most Antiguans don't need a pickup truck.
I think we already concluded that from the get-go.
But as far as this is concerned,
But as far as the ride,
it's a good vehicle.
right? It would be a good purchase.
Yeah, if you're in the market, that would be a nice little backup camera here.
As well too. And
Yeah. It's clear enough.
No, it's not clear enough. It's good
It's good.
for backup camera purposes
Yeah.
and so on.
It's a good purchase. It's a good purchase.
Value for buck, and it's
yeah.
a Toyota too.
I don't know the going value on these right now, but once it's not anything astronomical, it's a good purchase. It's comfortable. We know the engine is sound. It's nice, albeit it's decent plastic like we expect. There's some leather, like a leather wrap wheel, which has a nice good feel. The steering isn't too heavy. I'll expound on that when comparing it to the Frontier when we get to that. I really don't like the Frontiers. And then the other thing that I like about this is in driving it just now, at no point did I feel like I had turbo lag, which is something that I find plagues the Frontier. I cannot adequately get out of a corner, a junction in a Frontier without over pressing the gas, the accelerator, because it took so long to accelerate. But this didn't have that. I actually prefer this over the Frontier if I was supposed to choose two. I mean, I am a Nissan guy at heart, but as far as the pickup truck is concerned, small pickup truck, medium size, I think, as they would call these, this is pretty nice. I actually quite like this. I can see why so many people have this pickup truck.
But let me ask you one question though. The Frontier that you drove, was it a newer Frontier or the older one?
It's not the latest model. The facelifted one is the one before that.
So fair enough. So we still have to then compare to the newer
Yeah.
ones to see if they made those adjustments, those changes.
Yeah.
Because again, as time move forward, you know, you upgrade, you adjust. Because again, we did say for these, some persons did have some feedback saying that they were riding a bit stiff. They had to make some suspension changes. The newer models tend to ride a bit more smoother.
Okay.
I've been in a few the newer models. This didn't feel as bad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Rod did to it.
I don't know.
As I said, compared to the newer one, it wasn't that far apart. The newer models, I could tell you for sure, way smoother.
Yeah.
Way more comfortable, way more, you know, stylish and so on. So I mean, hold that frontier discussion, because you have, as you said, you rode in the older model. Hopefully for our frontier review we get a newer model.
Hopefully
and then we can
do some real comparisons and let the people know.
A matter of fact, maybe we should reach out to these dealers and have these conversations as well to see if we can actually get the newer models and the newer one to see.
That'd be nice. I'd like to give some feedback on that. I mean, comparing this to the frontier that we have at the workplace and I have to use, I'd much prefer driving this than the frontier. I mean,
coming from a Nissan person. Yeah,
coming from a Nissan person. Even the infotainment and the dash, everything else, you know, feels so much better. I'll be honest. The seat as well is naturally more comfortable.
It is. I'm not complaining for the leg problem.
I actually spend about 5 minutes if I have to drive that vehicle for work, just trying to get the seat in the correct position.
We just came in here.
All I did, I just slid it into place. It's not too firm. It doesn't feel too deep. It's not too high. It's not too low.
Correct.
Even the look of the windscreen is pretty good over the bonnet. It's pretty decent. There isn't much to complain about.
So all in all,
in the Hilux, I'll be honest.
In all, we don't need one. But if you need one, you need one.
If you need one,
that makes sense.
If you need one and you're thinking about shopping around a few, I can give a recommendation to the Hilux at this point.
For now.
For now. Until we get something else, and I'll say.
So we still have to look at the BT, we still have to look at the Raptor, and we still have to look at the new Frontier.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Raptor.
Alright guys, so this is our review of the Hilux.
Yeah.
Quick, nice, simple. Again, comment in the comment section. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you think. This is just a review, so we're going to have a more in-depth discussion.
Definitely.
Overall, when Killer gets back as well too. And hopefully, you know, we can get the conversation started as to, we already established it's not the real need, but then we'll do a general comparison with all four. Yeah. And see what comes out on top. Taking into consideration this is the 2018.
This is 2018. And I mean, even for 2018, it's good. It's good. I mean, it has all your necessities. And another thing is, price-wise, it's probably within more person's budget. As a used vehicle, it's probably going to be all that you really need. I mean, if you can afford to get a newer one,
correct,
then
and this is because this was a new. Ben got this. Raw got this.
New. I think he got it new. It's in pretty good condition. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's a good vehicle.
Just to conclude, this is the Displacement Podcast.
Oh, they unlock.
And we're out.